Just last summer, my family and I we were heading over to Iowa to visit my grandma's house. It was a 14-hour long trip. We were all pretty much exhausted and cramped. Then my mom started freaking out. Through her window, I saw floating lights flickering above the cornfields. Should bioluminescent insects be considered important to our ecosystem? There are many people who find them enchanting and beautiful, and then there are many who are concerned for their survival. As a horticulture student, I have been learning a lot about plants, about trees. I didn't really have much thought into insects. Then I started learning more about wasps, about butterflies and spiders. Then I came across the fireflies. Through my own curiosity, I started learning more about them, learning more about why we can't see them as much as we should. In this presentation, I will be talking about three things: the light production, the ecological role, and the population decline. Raphael Dubois was a pharmacologist. He studied bioluminescence and anesthesia. He spent a part of his life dissecting beetles. Through his studies, he found out that not only the adults can glow, he found out that eggs, the embryos, and larvae can also glow. In an article called Shedding Light on Luminescence, it reads: with his discovery, Du Bois unveiled the chemical basis of bioluminescence. He named the enzyme luciferase and the small molecule substrate luciferin. Luciferase catalyzes luciferin, and when they both chemically react to one another, it creates light. Insects aren't the only one that can create or produce this light. We also have our marine life in the oceans. We have our squids, our lanternfish, and we have jellyfish. We also have these single celled organisms called dinoflagellates. Perhaps you've seen the glowing beaches over in Puerto Rico. Once the waves crash into one another, they glow. Insects can include fireflies, glowworm beetles, and bioluminescent click beetles. They are mostly found in forests and meadows, located in warm and moist climates. They usually come out to communicate and hunt right after dusk. For the ecological role, they are known to be a natural pest control. By that, let's take larvae for example. Their natural prey is slugs, worms, and snails, which are considered pests to crops, to lettuces, to corn, to all kinds of farmland that's out there. They use their own light as a hunting tool to lure their prey in. They also use their light for communication. At least the adults do. They use their flickering lights to attract mates. In an article called Flickering Flash Signals and Mate Recognition in Asian Firefly, Aquatica lateralis, there was a study that was conducted to study light patterns of these adults. And it mentions males perching in the vegetation in the daytime begin to flash at dusk and approach the mountain sedentary females flashing spontaneously. Their light also works as a warning for other predators, warning them that they should not be eaten, that they're toxic. Bioluminescent insects also work as an indicator species. For example, we have these two pictures up here. We have the differences between an unhealthy environment and a healthy environment. You could tell because in this picture we have at least 50 to 60 flickering lights floating above the grasses. In comparison to this one, we have about probably up to 10, 15. And you could tell this one is much more healthier, simply because there are more fireflies. As for their population decline, we have pesticides and insecticides, which could be harmful chemicals to the legs and the larvae that hide in the plants and leaves. Habitat loss is also a major factor, as deforestation can cause them to lose their hiding spots, to lose their location of where their offspring is supposed to be laid at. We also have disruptions to their life cycle, and the main ones would be light pollution. In these pictures right over here, we have a city in Greece. And this other picture right here, we could probably see here a whole galaxy with millions of stars. From these two differences, we can see that in this picture, this sky does not have any stars. Light pollution itself can almost blind the darkness with its own light. And this could have an impact on these insects because, well, the light can basically blind them and they miss the mating signals. We also have over tourism, which is almost another factor to what light pollution is. The flickering flashes of cameras to the brightness in phones. Climate change is also a big factor, like how it affects with all environments. We have phenological shifts, meaning that there are seasonal timing biological events. And they're probably not in the same ways that they should be, not moved in the same seasons as they should with the insects or with the population of other species. We also have habitat altercations, illuminating firefly diversity trends, threats, and conservation strategies. An article, it states most fireflies need moisture to complete their life cycles, preventing desiccation of vulnerable immature stages and ensuring availability of their soft body invertebrate prey. So we've already talked about the population decline, the ecological role, and the light production. When I saw those lights above the endless fields of corn, that's when I realized that what I was looking at was fireflies. It was the first time I've ever seen them. I've never even have seen them here in Idaho or in Utah or in Washington or any of the states that I've seen. If you or your neighbor have are living warm and humid climates or near moist habitats, perhaps you could consider lessening the use of patio lights or automatic floodlights. Because as Mark Frost has said once, for instance, there is no light without darkness. And this troubles many of us. Because without it, how else will we tell one from the other? We spend half of every day in darkness. Surely, we should make our peace with this.